stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
Hello and welcome to News Hour on Sun TV, the pulse of the nation, and the station where truth cut through the nose, clarity lights the way, and journalism makes an impact. Stay connected and join us on Facebook at Sun TV and also on YouTube at Sun TV Live. Now buckle up, here are the top stories shaking the headlines. Taraba and Kaduna States PDP rejects by-election results. INEC reports 69,376 Nigerians completed pre-registration in 7 hours. And in Sokoto State, the government distributes 20 outboard engines and pledges support to rent boat mishap victims' families. My name is Mercy Juru, and here is the news in full. The Kaduna State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has rejected the result of Saturday's by-elections in Basawa, Zaria Kaiwa, and Chinkun Kakuru constituencies, alleging abduction, vote buying, and intimidation by the ruling All Progressive Congress. In a statement, the state chairman, Sir Edward Passy, said that the poll fell short of democratic standards and vowed the party would meet with its legal team to decide on next steps. The PDP also accused the APC of seizing campaign funds and using commando-style tactics to suppress voters. It's warned that voter apathy would worsen if public confidence in elections continues to erode. And similarly, in Taraba State, the PDP has rejected the outcome of the August 16, 2025 Karim Lamido won by-election, alleging widespread of electoral fraud and violence by the APC. State Chairman Alhaji Abubakar Bawa described the process as marked by intimidation, vote tampering, and result falsification. He cited altered figures, including a reduction of PDP's votes in Big Win ward from 3,737 to 1,963, and also the cancellation of over 3,000 votes despite a margin of less than 500 between top contenders. The PDP insists the poll should have been declared inconclusive and urged supporters to remain calm as it pursues legal options to reclaim its mandate.
Taraba State chapter of the People's Democratic Party filed its imperative and an obligation to address you this afternoon. As a political party that has benefited from the process of free and fair election in this state since 1999, that sense of urgency mandates us to speak out if we notice tendencies that are injurious to our political journey in the state. What inspired in Karim Lamido on the 16th and 17th August 2025 was inexplicable recklessness and barefaced subversion of democracy, decorum, and standards. It was, to say the least, a remarkable show of mafia gangsterism as a party. We are still in a state of shock at the desperation and depravity that the APC exhibited across the 5 wards and 131 polling units of the constituency. The PDP went into the contest with absolute innocence, basking on precedents of orderly conduct of election and civilized mannerism. What we meet and saw portends dangers to our democracy. Having realized that the people were not willing to vote for them, they opted for intimidation, threat, and open confrontation. Sadly and unfortunately, lethal weapons were part of the instrument of intimidation. Like seen from horror films, results were snatched at gunpoint.
The Independent National Electoral Commission said on Monday that 69,376 Nigerians completed their online pre-registration for the continuous voters registration exercise within the first 7 hours of commencement. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, disclosed this in a statement, noting that the registration portal went live at 8:30 a.m. 26 passengers have been rescued after the Sokoto boat accident, while 25 are still unaccounted for. And according to the National Emergency Management Agency, the head of NEMA Sokoto Operation Office, Mr. Aliu Shehu, disclosed that the ill-fated boat was carrying 51 passengers along with goods and motorcycles when it capsized. In a related development, the Sokoto state government has distributed 20 outboard engines to 6 local government areas to improve water transport safety following a boat accident that left dozens missing in Kojio village. Deputy Governor Idris Gobia announced the measure during a condolence visit, adding that Governor Ahmed Aliu also ordered the completion of a road and bridge project in the area. The state pledged 20 million naira and 100 bags of grains to victims' families. Officials said the accident occurred when an overloaded wooden boat carrying about 50 passengers and 9 motorcycles capsized, with rescue operations still going on. The federal government has disbursed nearly 50 billion naira to primary health centers nationwide through the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. According to the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, said the initiative funded from the Collated Revenue Fund and donor contributions has modernized health infrastructure across all local governments. Pate also confirmed over 20 billion naira has been released for the rehabilitation of 4,362 PHCS in the North and the FCT. He noted that more than 37 million visits were recorded at the PHCs in the first quarter of 2025, describing the program as a data-driven overhaul of Nigeria's healthcare system. And in Delta State, the governor, Sheriff Oboweri, has launched the Widows Welfare Scheme to support 10,000 widows with monthly stipends and healthcare coverage. Each beneficiary will receive 15,000 naira monthly with an initial payment of 45,000 naira covering 3 months in arrears. All widows will also be enrolled in the state's contributory health insurance scheme for free access to medical care. Oboweri said the initiative, as part of his More Agenda's Opportunities for All, is aimed at easing widows' economic and health burdens. He stressed that the program is non-political, with beneficiaries selected through a transparent, community-driven process across all 270 wards. In a similar narrative, 500 women in Taraba State have received 50,000 naira each as recapitalization grant under the Renewed Hope initiative in partnership with the Tony Elumelu Foundation. The distribution, coordinated by the governor's wife, Anyang Abu Kefas, aimed to support petty traders and empower vulnerable groups. Speaking at the event in Jalingo, Mrs. Kefas thanked First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu and the foundation for their commitment, urging beneficiaries to use these funds wisely. The Ministry of Women Affairs and APC's Deputy National Leader, Zainab Ibrahim, commended the initiative as timely, inclusive, and aligned with the efforts to reduce poverty. The federal government has called on traditional rulers in the Northeast to support efforts against the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. Northeast Zonal Coordinator of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, retired Major General Abubakar Adamu, made the appeal during a visit to the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Umar Gabai. He warned that the illicit weapon fueled insecurity, including insurgency, kidnapping, and banditry, stressing the need for advocacy and community collaboration. In response to this, the Shehu pledged to mobilize traditional rulers to partner with the government in curbing the menace. Also in insecurity, 6 suspected Boko Haram members, including Muslim Muhammad Yusuf, the son of the late founder of the Boko Haram terrorist sect, Muhammad Yusuf, were said to have been arrested in Chad. One of the Nigerian intelligence sources in the Lake Chad region said they received a report of the arrest of a 6-man jihadi cell in Chad. Also, scores of bandits hibernating in some enclosure situated at the Damasu local government area of Katsina State have fled their hideouts following military airstrike. This is just as 62 hostages abducted by the criminals and have been in the bush for more than 1 month took to their heels upon realizing that their abductors have fled. An improvised explosive device, IED, mistaken for scrap metal exploded in Konduga, Borno State, leaving 2 children dead and 4 others injured. According to sources, the victims on Sunday picked the object at an evacuation site where the Borno State government is undertaking the project. Moving on to Delta State, the former governor, Senator Ifeanyi Okwa, has praised President Bola Tinubu for restoring stability and hope in Nigeria. Speaking in Abuja at the national summit organized by the Integrity Group of Nigeria, Okowa, represented by Pascal Adigwe, described Tinubu as an action president who takes responsibility and makes tough decisions with positive results. He declared full support for Tinubu's 2027 re-election bid, urging support groups to begin mobilizing. Other speakers, including Senator Binta Gaba and former Minister Pauline Talin, also commended Tinubu's leadership, citing improvements in security, student loan, and the recent electoral victory as a sign of progress. The national chairman of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Professor Nentawe Yelwata, has expressed optimism that the party will comfortably win the 2027 general election. Yelwata spoke on Monday in Abuja while hosting members of the party's press corps who visited to condole with him on the passing of his mother, Mama Lydia Yelwata. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has arrived in Japan to participate in the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, which kicked off on Wednesday in Yokohama. President Tinubu, who arrived in Haneda International Airport in Tokyo at about 12:55 a.m. local time on Tuesday, was welcomed by Ambassador Hyudo, the Japanese ambassador in charge of the TICAD. The U.S. government has mandated Nigeria visa applicants to disclose their social media profiles and activities in the last 5 years, warning that failure to comply with the requirements could potentially result in visa denial. But the federal government, in a swift reaction, said it will reciprocate the new U.S. visa policy with equal measures. A man simply identified as Doctor has allegedly stabbed his lover, nicknamed Ima, to death in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The development caused pandemonium on Okereke Street, Mile 1, Dibio, Port Harcourt City local government area of the state, where the incident happened on Sunday night. The National Pension Commission has directed pension fund administrators and pension fund custodians to immediately stop accepting or processing equity contribution applications submitted by 7 primary mortgage banks over alleged non-compliance with its housing loan guidelines. This was contained in the circular dated August 11, 2025, signed by the head of Benefits and Insurance Department, Obiora Ebeziaku. Moving forward, Hers Energy, an indigenous African integrated energy company, has reinforced its commitment to energy sufficiency and sustainability with active participation at the United States African Energy Forum in Houston, Texas, and the Namibia International Oil and Gas Conference 2025. Chief Executive Officer Osas Iyehun stressed the need for Africa to leverage both hydrocarbon and renewable resources while ensuring innovation and other developments. We'll be taking a short commercial break. Do stay tuned with us.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Glad to have you still with us. Dele Kelvin Oye, immediate past chairman of the Organized Private Sector of Nigeria and former NACSIMA president, has said that empowering women-led enterprises under the African Continental Free Trade Area framework is crucial to unlocking Africa's economic growth. Speaking at the UNDP and Zenfort Forum in Abuja, Oye noted that women-owned businesses represent 40% of enterprises on the continent, but faces challenges such as poor access to finance, markets, and skills. He urged stronger policy support, stakeholders' collaboration, and stable economic measures, warning that the central bank's refusal to honor 2.4 billion naira forwards risks worsening businesses' pressures. Nigeria will in October host global gas investors and industry leaders at the 2025 Gas Investment Forum in Lagos. The two-day event themed Chartering New Opportunities for Investment, Growth and Industrialization will feature President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Special Advisor on Energy, Oluvejingi, as chief host, and keynote speaker. Confirmed participants includes executives from the Nigerian Gas Association, Nigerian Energy Chamber, International Gas Union, and Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. Organizers said the forum, endorsed by the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and co-hosted by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, will showcase investment-ready projects, advance Nigeria's gas monetization agenda, and position the country as a hub for West African energy-driven growth. The Nigerian Export Processing Zone Authority and National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have agreed to strengthen collaboration in managing activities within the country's free trade zone in line with the federal government's one-stop-shop policy. The agreement followed a phone conversation between the managing director of the Nigerian Export Processing Zone Authority, Dr. Olufemi Ogunyemi, and the chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, retired Brigadier General Buba Mawa. Ogunyemi stressed the need for harmony among agencies within the free trade zone ecosystem, while Marwa called for greater cooperation to sustain a drug-free business environment under the Renewed Hope agenda. A man convicted of murdering a mother and 3 children during a robbery in Biram Far province was publicly executed in southern Iran on Tuesday. State media reported the killing took place in October 2024, and both the man and his wife were sentenced to death in February 2025, with the verdict upheld by the Supreme Court in April. Authorities said the wife's execution will be carried out in prison at a later date. Iran, which Amnesty International ranks second only in China in executions, typically conducts public hanging at dawn for crimes such as murder and rape. And that brings us to the close of this edition of News Hour on Sun TV. Follow us on Facebook at Sun TV and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sun TV Live for more breaking news, in-depth reports, and expert analysis. My name is Mercy Joro, and until then, stay informed and stay safe.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast, and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab,